Hey y'all, fuck going on? My name is GSteez and this is my club talk. I'm from the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne. I'd say it's pretty quiet at times, but depending on what suburb you're in, it can get a little hectic. I describe my music as art, so I'd say I'm an artist over a musician, to be honest. 2026, it looks like bullseye, bullseye, bullseye. I'm hitting everything on the mark, hell yeah. My first ever anything to do with the scene was I did an open mic at Drum Theater in Dandenong. That was my first time ever showing myself to the scene. And since then I've been a lot of venues now where I've shown my face. Music-wise, I'd say Earl Sweatshirt, GSteez, and Kanye West. Those are my biggest inspirations. Although I make music that sounds nothing like them, but those are my biggest inspirations. But in life, my uncle. It's a blessing, bro. It's the craziest family hood that anyone could ask for outside of my blood. You know what I mean? These are my brothers and sisters, really. So it's great. Hell yeah. I got an EP with J30. I got Bees on Sting Hornets 2 in the progress. Get a tape in the progress. I'm gonna be working on a couple singles the next month. So hell yeah. One of my favorite memories is me and a couple of the boys, we went to Majura for some work for a couple weeks. And it was intensive labor. We're in the farm and shit, but we brought the studio with us. And the room we were in, it looked like a prison cell. But yeah, that was a great time. I had a lot of fun, but it was first time I was living real stress, proper. My spirituality is pretty all over the place. I grew up Christian, so I always came with a good sense of morals. As I've grown older, I've been kind of open to a lot of new ways of thinking. I take things from Hinduism, Buddhism. I'm not strict in any religion. I sort of let myself go. I'm very big on duality, good and bad, yin and yang, evil and good, whatever you guys want to call it, yeah. My mixtape, Long Days, Longer Nights, I say that's probably my biggest achievement. It took me about 2 years since I conceived the idea to actually execute, so I'd say that's probably my biggest achievement. Discipline is probably one of my biggest challenges, but yeah, also juggling. Juggling, you know how we all live sort of split lives. I don't know about you guys, but I live a pretty split life, whereas I do sales and I do music, so it's 2 characters, and trying to balance them all, sometimes it gets a little sticky, but yeah, we both. Everyone should be sort of paying attention to anybody, because although there's a lot of garbage in the scene, I'll be honest, there's a lot of garbage in the scenes. I used to be part of that garbage, you know what I mean? But now I don't think I'm garbage. I think everybody should be paying attention to everybody to a certain degree. Right now, I say the big heads, OG. I'd say myself, boys in the 1038, running stuff. Yeah, north, southeast. Southeast is starting to get the recognition, but it's taking a minute, but yeah, we coming now. Stay down, just keep grinding, but be confident in your work. Also believe that you are who you are to a degree, because then you can literally create that reality. Stay down, just grind, wait for your time to shine. I'm rapping, I don't even know it. Yeah. It's given me the ability to see a lot of perspectives, so it gives me a lot of topics to talk about, especially in my music. I grew up listening to Tyler the Creator, Joey Badass, and Pro Era, Wu-Tang, X. Yeah, just a plethora of music, really. The project is pretty special, but mainly because it's 2 years of actually my time and effort, and it explores sounds that isn't very explored in Melbourne, I'd say. There's dark R&B, there's some hype shit, there's some sad shit. You know what I mean? I feel there's not a lot of artists that can really do it all, especially in Melbourne, so it will definitely show people what I'm capable of. So I think this is a good foundation for me, because later on, I might just do projects based on one sound. So when I do change them up every now and then, they'll understand where it came from. It's not it came out the blue. They'll look at this first mixtape and be he was already doing shit like this. I want them to understand that I'm not a one-dimensional person, and how I perceive my music is not the same way that you guys perceive my music. As long as they understand that, I think everything's alright. Yo, that one time in on Walker Street, me and Dooley performed Push. That was fire. That was hectic. Yeah, that was one of my favorite performances I ever did. It was very it wasn't really out there. Not a lot of people showed up, but it was definitely one of them ones where I feel anyone who saw it will always remember that one. I don't know if I've had any real bad experiences doing a music video. some people were supposed to show up, were supposed to have more numbers in one of my music videos. They didn't show up, but it was alright. Like we made up for it. We just had to push regardless. I mean, like just because just because we don't have the certain amount of numbers doesn't mean we're gonna stop the music video. Like you can't do it. We gotta do it regardless. So I see myself in a motherfucking tour bus, getting bus sick and shit, recording. I don't know, getting high. I don't know, but I'm gonna be up there. I don't know. I see myself actually like being free, like having freedom of time and just freedom in general. So in 5 years, if I don't have that, I did something wrong. Nah. Actually, you know what? Let me add to that. Also, just being in like having like a quiet little home. Alright, yo guys, my name is GSteez, and that's the end of Club Talk.